Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome everybody. Welcome to yet another Soul Service Sunday with me. It is so lovely to see you all here. It's so lovely to see all the chats going. Yes, please everybody do comment with your favorite color in the chat. This is only for those of you who are live, okay? So those of you who watch the service at a later time, putting your favorite color in the chat is not going to be beneficial. There's a reason why I am doing that. So everybody please do comment with your favorite color in the chat, either through a word or an emoji, whatever it is that you are drawn to. But put your favorite color in the chat and you'll see why a little bit later. All right, so Soul Service Sunday yet again. It is morning service. Just a reminder that next week will be evening service to cater for those people on the other side of the planet. And to everybody that I haven't said hello to in the chat, hi, hi, hi. I do like to chat to you while the intro is playing, but once the service starts, I focus on the service. So I'm not going to be giving everybody individual greetings and hellos, but hello to everybody. I am watching the chat. I am reading all the comments. It is so lovely to have you here with me. Thank you for taking time out on your Sunday morning to be here with me, to reconnect with yourself. It's not about connecting with me, it's about reconnecting with yourself. So I have what I think is a lovely service planned. And I hope that you are going to enjoy the service as well. So friends, join me as we starting off with our opening prayer. Just to set the intentions, just to clear the air, just to do all the things that we need to do. And while I am talking about the opening prayer, while I am taking us through the opening prayer as well, straight after the opening prayer, we will go into healing. So please do, I want your favorite colors in the chat, but also any names of anybody, any soul, any fur baby, anybody who is in need of healing. So if you know of anybody, you can just put their first name or whatever it is into the chat, okay? So I want your favorite colors and I want names of people who are in need of healing. So once we've done the opening prayer, we will go straight into our healing service. All right, so let's take a deep breath in and just ground and center ourselves. Beloved spirit guides, archangels, ascended masters, we humbly invite your divine presence into the sacred space here today. Please encircle us with your love, with your wisdom, and your healing as we unite our hearts and our minds in service for the highest good of all who are gathered here today. We call upon the archangels to help anchor this gathering in divine light. We call on Archangel Raphael, who is the Archangel of the East, the guardian of air and the breath of life. Please bring your emerald light to cleanse and to refresh our spirits. Open our minds to clarity, to inspiration, and to healing, as your gentle winds carry away all that no longer serves us. We call on Archangel Michael, the guardian of the South, protector of fire and courage. Please stand with your flaming sword to shield the space from all harm. Let your blazing energy ignite our inner strength to transmute fear into faith and to guard our gathering with unwavering protection. We call in Archangel Gabriel, who is the Archangel of the West, the keeper of water and emotional flow. Pour your calming, cleansing waters over this space here today. Help us to release any stagnant emotions and help us to find peace in your nurturing embrace. Please bless us with the courage to speak our truth, with grace and with authenticity. We call on Archangel Uriel, the Archangel of the North, the bearer of the earth's wisdom and stability. Please ground us in the strength of the earth that stands beneath our feet. Infuse the space with your golden light, offering insight, security, and unwavering support for all who are gathered here today. Beloved archangels, please weave your energies together to create an unbreakable circle of light around us each individually and around us collectively for all who are gathered here today. Let the space be a sanctuary and impenetrable to all harm, impenetrable to all harm, to all negativity and disruptions. May every soul who enters here feel safe, feel loved, and feel supported in their healing and in their transformation. Ascended Masters, we call upon your timeless wisdom to guide us through the service. Please illuminate the way with your clarity. Please inspire us with your compassion and remind us that we are always connected to the divine. Spirit guides, our loyal allies on this journey, please whisper your messages of encouragement and truth into our hearts. Please guide us with precision and love, helping us to align with our highest purpose. May this gathering be a beacon of light and love. Let all intentions for protection, for healing, and for peace be amplified and anchored during the sacred time. May every heart may every heart present feel the ease, the simplicity, the courage, and the success that flows through the blessings of this moment. We offer our deepest gratitude for your presence and for your protection. And so it is. And so it is. Oh, I love that. I love that. You know what? I don't think we pray enough. I don't think we set enough intentions. I don't think we spend enough time focusing on what it is that matters and what it is that we want, desire, and need in our lives. So when we do little prayers like that, it just recenters us, doesn't it? Well, at least it does for me anyway. So thank you everybody for putting names and putting everything into the chat. I so appreciate it. Keep them coming. Keep the names going. Keep the energy flowing. And remember, I need colors as well. All right, let me change my heading because opening is done, and we are now going to move into the healing prayer. So for the healing prayer, I invite you to sit quietly. I invite you to engage and interact and to participate. I will take you through the guided meditation as such. It's not really a meditation, it's a prayer more than anything. If you haven't put any names in the chat, you can just hold them in your heart, just hold them in your space, and they will receive healing as well. I have, as you all know, a little healing book, and there are many names in this book. So this is the book that I use for healing. So I always include everybody who is in this book for receiving unconditional love and healing. I am going to put a pretty picture on the screen just so that you don't necessarily have to look at me all the time, just so that you can disconnect from this and just internalize. So if you want to even just close your eyes and just listen and focus and send the healing, that would be great. Remembering that anybody who sends out healing receives as well, because we often forget about ourselves. We're so focused on helping everybody else that we do often neglect our own selves. So I always make sure to include that into our prayer. All right, so get yourselves comfy. Here we have just a beautiful pretty little thing of the earth with the sun shining behind, rotating. It's on a loop. It's going to go around and around and around while we focus on our healing. So join me, friends, as we spend some time sending and receiving the healing that is needed right now. So let's take a moment to settle into this present space. I invite you to feel your feet that are connected to the earth beneath you, anchoring your energy into the steady support of the world. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale it out, release any tension or any distractions, any pain and any discomfort. Take another deep breath in. Fill your belly as much as you can. And release and exhale it out. We now call upon the divine presence of love and healing to surround this gathering right now. We call in the archangels, our spirit guides, and all beings of light who work for the highest good. We invite you into the space. We call upon Archangel Raphael, who is the angel of healing, to bring his emerald green light to flow through and around us. Please wrap every soul present here in your gentle, loving energy, bringing comfort, renewal, and wholeness. We call upon Archangel Michael, who is the protector of light, to shield the sacred space and all the healing work with his divine strength. Please hold the circle in your radiant light, ensuring that it remains a sanctuary of safety and peace. We call upon Archangel Gabriel, who is the messenger of hope, to bring clarity, soothing waters of emotional healing, and the courage to trust in the healing process. And we also call in Archangel Uriel, who is the angel of wisdom, to ground this healing energy into the present moment, anchoring it into the hearts of all who give and receive. Friends, I invite you now to visualize a soft, golden light that is beginning to form in the space directly in front of you, in line with your heart. The soft golden light, it represents our collective intention for healing. It is fueled by the love and the compassion that we each carry. I invite you to see, to visualize, to imagine the soft golden light growing brighter and stronger with every breath that we take. See this golden light expanding outward, growing bigger and bigger. See this light completely enveloping you, wrapping around you and wrapping around each person sharing in the service right now. Imagine this bright light, this golden bright light going out and touching every heart, bringing warmth, bringing peace, and bringing a sense of connection to us all. Friends, allow yourself to feel this healing energy as it flows to you and through you, connecting us all in love. I invite you now to bring forward the names of those you wish to send healing to. This may include names that have been written in the chat, or names that you may have written on a piece of paper, names that you hold in your mind, or names that you have maybe spoken out loud. Visualize these names gently floating into this golden light, where they are embraced by divine healing energy. See all of these names gently floating into this golden light, being completely drawn in and embraced. Now let's extend this healing intention a little bit further, sending it to all the names that are held in healing lists across the world. See this light radiating outward, traveling to every person, to every animal, and every being that is in need of love and restoration, whether their names have been mentioned or not. See this golden healing light completely surrounding our globe, our Mother Earth, healing all who are on it. But friends, I now invite you to take a moment to visualize the same healing light being received. Picture those who are in need of comfort. Visually picture them in your mind being surrounded by this golden light. As you see their burdens lifting, as you see their spirits being renewed, and as you see their hearts filling with peace, and their bodies gaining strength, and their minds gaining clarity. Feel the collective power of this group magnifying this healing energy. Each intention, each visualization strengthens the flow of light and love, as together we create a vast network of healing that reaches far beyond what any of us could ever achieve alone. As this healing energy flows outward, take a moment to feel gratitude for this sacred work. We thank the archangels, we thank our spirit guides, and we thank all beings of light for their presence and for their assistance. Archangel Raphael, we thank you for your healing touch, and we ask to continue supporting all those that are in need. Archangel Michael, we thank you for your protection and for your strength. Archangel Gabriel, we thank you for your messages of hope and for peace. And Archangel Uriel, we thank you for grounding this energy and anchoring it in love. Friends, I invite you to visualize the same golden healing light, gently returning, retracting if you want, to that space directly in front of you, in line with your heart, where it remains as a beacon of love and a beacon of healing for all who may need it. Take your hands and place your hands around this healing and bring it into your heart space, where you hold it until it is needed again. As you hold this golden healing light in your heart, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, bring your awareness back to this moment. Feel the earth beneath your feet once again. Feel the connection of this group once more, and feel the glorious peace inside your heart, knowing that the healing that has been sent and received will continue for as long as it may be needed. And so it is, and so it is. Now, if you've got a glass of water, if you've got a cup of coffee or anything, have a sip and just settle into this beautiful space. Doesn't it feel amazing? I always love it, always absolutely love it. All right. Thank you for sharing in that healing with me. Thank you so much for being a part of that. Thank you so much for putting names in the healing list. You know, it's such a simple thing to do, but it is so profound, and it does make such a difference, not only to ourselves individually, but to the names that we've mentioned, but just to humanity as a whole, isn't it? All right, so the next on our agenda is our spirit-guided reflection for the week. And yeah, today's an interesting one. It's almost like spirit taking us back to basics, you know. I honestly, when I started coming up with this and thinking about this and receiving this from spirit, I really thought that these reflections were going to be meaty and chunky and like poof, mind-blowing. And we're sticking simple. And I don't know if it's that spirit want to start us at basics and sort of build us up. I don't know. I'm just the messenger. I'm just the voice. I'm just the voice. So our topic this week that I was given from spirit is embracing change. Now, I always find this topic particularly interesting because I am somebody who really does embrace change. I love change, everything. You know, I love changing the furniture in the house, moving it around. I love changing my routines and my structures and the way that I do things. There are certain things that I do like a little bit of structure with, but I'm not adverse to tipping things upside down and re-establishing and recreating and, forming. So, but I know that so many people really do struggle with embracing change. Some people really do find it so difficult to change anything, whether it is a small thing or whether it is a big thing. I know that so many people really do struggle with change. So yeah, this is the topic, and this is what I received from Spirit. So it's about finding growth and finding resilience in the transitions that is life, because life is full of change. Change happens all the time. Every moment you have experienced change, because we cannot ever go back. We cannot ever go back to where we were. We always are moving forward, and every moment is completely 100% different from a previous moment. So we are experiencing change every day, all day, constantly, but somehow we still struggle with the concept of change. So change is one of life's few certainties, yet so many of us really and truly struggle with it. So whether it's a new job, whether it's the end of a relationship, whether it's moving house, or even just a shift in our daily routines, change can and often does feel very unsettling. But let me offer you a new perspective. Change isn't the enemy. Change is actually the gateway to growth. It's interesting. So let's think about this. And I know this is an analogy I drum on about. This is an analogy I have shared with you a gazillion times, and I will still share it a gazillion more because it is just so appropriate. And that is the analogy of the caterpillar and the butterfly. So a caterpillar, as you know, has to shed its old self in order to become that butterfly. That transformation is incredibly uncomfortable, but it is also necessary for flight. And in the same way, change pushes us out of our comfort zones and into the possibility of something greater. It really does. Change often, even though it feels painful and uncomfortable and hard and, all of those things, it's really pushing us into something better, something more suited to our souls, to our purpose. So why then do we resist change so much? The first reason is because it's the fear of the unknown. We are wired to seek familiarity because we've been programmed and conditioned into thinking and believing that the familiar is safe, that familiarity makes us feel safe. We also resist change because of loss of control. Because change comes with uncertainty, it makes us feel like we are powerless. It makes us feel like we are not in control. So this is again one of the reasons why we resist change so much. And the third reason why we resist change is our attachment to the past. And you know what, friends, I don't know whether you realize this, but we are, every single one of us, we're so attached to our past. We're so attached to how things were and what happened in the past and who said what to who and how it unfolded and why they said that and why that happened and why. We're so attached to our past. We tend to hold on to what we already know, even if what we already know no longer serves us. So it's our attachment to our past. It's our attachment to holding on to what's already been that makes us so afraid of change. But one thing we need to understand is that resisting change doesn't actually stop it. I mean, that sentence, when Spirit gave me that sentence, it was like poof for me. It was absolutely mind-blowing. Resisting change doesn't actually stop it. It only creates suffering. True story. Think about it. Fighting change is like trying to hold back the ocean's tides. You can't. No matter what tools and equipment and processes you use, you absolutely cannot do it. You absolutely cannot do it. You will be wasting your energy and holding and keeping yourself stuck in that negative space. Resisting change doesn't actually stop it. If you take anything away from the service, take that one sentence. So, a couple of examples. A client of mine lost her job quite unexpectedly, as has probably happened to many of you. Her first reaction was absolute fear and panic. She feared that she wouldn't find a job. She worried about her financial future. She worried about her family. How was she going to be able to take care of them? How was she going to pay her rent? How was she going to pay for her car? How was she? Forgetting about the middle bit. So she had that initial fear and panic. She had that initial like complete and utter overwhelm. But actually, fast forward a little bit. Losing that job did her the biggest favor, because it actually forced her to explore her passions and to try something that she would never have had the courage to try before. So out of desperation, she tried something. And today, she runs her own small business. She has a career that she loves, but one that she would never have pursued otherwise. So it was out of being forced into change. And because she couldn't find another job, because another opportunity didn't present, and she, out of desperation, she tried something that she was passionate about, that she enjoyed. And because she was desperate and focused and determined, she created something really amazing. And I know that that doesn't work for everybody. But in her case, she lost her job completely and utterly randomly, unexpectedly. It's almost like there was divine intervention to actually help her start a business that she'd probably been longing for such a long time, but just never got around to doing it. I had another client who went through a terrible, terrible relationship breakup. Like, one of those worst case scenario, ugly, ugly, ugly situations. He just came home one day and the house was empty. His wife was gone. He had, that morning when he left for work, he had absolutely no idea. He didn't even have a slightest suspicion that there was a problem in their marriage. As far as he's concerned, everything was fantastic. And he came home from work one day and emptiness. There was nothing there. Nothing. She was gone. He felt lost. He felt alone. He felt like he would never actually recover from that. To be completely honest, he was even at some point considering suicide, because it was just, he could not comprehend why. He could not comprehend what had actually happened. And he was not okay with the change. He was not okay with what his life may need to look like after this experience. And for months, he sat in that negativity. He sat in that pain and suffering. He sat reliving the past, trying to understand, trying to comprehend, trying to connect the pieces to see where it went wrong and, all of that kind of thing. But it was the process of going through this breakup and working through that pain and that discomfort that he rediscovered himself. So he went for therapy. He consulted with everybody. He spoke about it. He became very vocal, okay? So he became very vocal and he was talking. And I know a lot of his friends and his family were rolling their eyes at him because he kept talking about the situation and what had happened to him and how he felt about it then and how he feels about it now. And, and I know we don't always have patience for people who talk about their stuff over and over and over. But in this particular case, it was exactly what he needed. So through this process of working through the pain and discomfort, he rediscovered himself. He started hobbies that he had forgotten he enjoyed doing. He built deeper connections with friends that he had neglected for such a long time because of the relationship, without even realizing that he had done that. And it turns out that the breakup wasn't the end for him, but it was actually the new beginning for him. he did eventually meet somebody new who made him happier than he ever was before. So this particular story, well, actually both of them really do have happy endings. But if they didn't go through that change, if they didn't embrace the change that was placed in front of them, they would never have found happiness. The lady in her career and the gentleman with his marriage. So, and I know those are like extreme examples. I know that those are really, really extreme examples. I know those extreme examples aren't always, valid and appropriate for you and I, but, they're examples nonetheless. So, Spirit's shared with me as well, what are the best ways to embrace change? So when you find yourself struggling, I feel like I've got a hair on my face the whole time. Um, so when you find yourself struggling with change, when you find yourself becoming quite overwhelmed by it all, what is the best way that Spirit can recommend for us to embrace change? And the first thing that Spirit gave me was to reframe your mindset. So instead of asking yourself why, as we tend to do, instead of asking yourself why, try asking, what is the lesson? What is this teaching me? Because every challenge that life presents you, every single challenge that life presents you carries a lesson. And you will have that same challenge on repeat until you learn the lesson. So instead of going, why, ask what? The other way, the next way to embrace change is to take small steps. Because we often feel like we need to leap, we need to jump, we need to get better, we need to fix it, we need to solution, we need to whatever. But sometimes no. What Spirit said to me was, don't focus on the entire mountain. Take one step at a time. How do you climb a mountain? One step at a time. And this is it. When we are facing a change, when we are facing something that makes us feel uncomfortable, don't focus on that huge mountain. Don't look up and get all overwhelmed and whatever. Just focus on one step at a time. I'm reminded at this point about the Hermit card in tarot. You know me, I always got to bring tarot into it. The Hermit card is a lone figure, head down, looking at his feet with a little lantern, and he can literally only see one step ahead of himself. So he doesn't know what lies out there, and he's not worried about that. He's making sure that each step that he takes is the right step in this moment, in this space. So the best way to embrace change is to take small steps. Don't focus on the mountain. Spirit also said to me that it's important that when you are undergoing change, it's important to lean on your support system. It is very important to lean on your support system. So share your journey with your trusted friends and family, because sometimes they can offer encouragement and sometimes a fresh perspective. I am going to add my own comment there. This is from me, not from Spirit. That sometimes in our friends and our family can offer us the worst perspective on the changes that we are going through. So don't always lean on them, right? I'm sorry, Spirit. Spirit said lean on friends and family, lean on your support system. As much as I do agree with that, I do think we have to be selective with our friends and our family, our support system that we do lean on, because some of them have got such negative outlooks that they can't give you good advice. I'm going to say to you, if you have a relationship problem, do you think it's a good idea to seek guidance from somebody whose own relationship is an absolute mess, whose own relationship is one of pain and attack and suffering and chaos and drama? And no, because if they no, I shouldn't have to elaborate. So when you sit with the problem in your life, friends, when you sit with the change that you need to face and you need to reach out for perspective, go to somebody who has that portion of their life perfect, because they can give you the best advice. And it's interesting. I will use my career as an example. I know so many people who do what I do, who have the most horrendous personal lives, and yet they're guiding other people. And I often look at this and go, No. How can you give good advice when you can't live that good advice in your own life? You can't. So friends, if you ever do seek, and this is for anybody, if you ever do seek support, seek support from people who've actually mastered that in their own life. Okay. The fourth thing, moving back onto our topic, getting back on track. The fourth thing that Spirit said to me with the best way to embrace change is to focus on only those things that you actually can control. So you may not be able to control the change itself, but you can control how you respond to it. Build healthy routines, stay curious about the potential future, and focus on self-care. And the last point that Spirit gave about how to embrace change is to celebrate progress. Reflect on how far you've come. Reflect on the small successes, every little step that you've taken. Celebrate it. Because if you celebrate each step, if you celebrate each little bit of progress, it motivates you and it gives you enthusiasm for more. Because every change that you have survived in the past proves your resilience. And when it comes to, excuse me, when it comes to dealing with change, we have to convince ourselves that we are resilient and strong enough to handle the change. So resisting change, friends, limits your growth. But embracing it builds resilience and opens the doors. There comes the itchiness. Embracing it builds resistance and opens doors to opportunities that you did not know existed. So life's transitions, even the tough ones, shape us into stronger, wiser, and more compassionate versions of ourselves. So one of the points that Spirit gave me about how to handle change was reframing your mindset. And after I had received this information, I think it was the following day, I was sitting contemplating again. And I said to Spirit, you know what, like I often hear this phrase, this term, reframing your mindset. I often hear people saying, oh, you just need to reframe your mindset. And I turned around to Spirit and I said, what does that actually look like? Like, what does that, in very simple human terms, in very simple human terms, what does it actually mean to reframe your mindset? So we've all heard the phrase. We've all probably even used the phrase in talking to somebody else. But, and possibly even instead of reframe your mindset, maybe change your perspective, see things from a different point of view, see things from a different angle. But actually, what does all of that mean? Like, really, what are the nuts and bolts of that? What does, and how do we do that when we are creatures of habit who are petrified of change, facing change? How do we do that? I mean, you know, it's easy to say, just do this and, you know, just change your mindset. But how? So Spirit said to me, reframing your mindset is about shifting how you interpret the situation. You can't always control what happens, but you can control how you perceive it, and that changes everything. Our mindset shapes our reality. So if you view challenges as threats, you will feel stressed, you will feel defeated, but if you see them as opportunities, you are more likely to feel motivated and resilient. So imagine yourself sitting in your car, stuck in the most horrendous traffic jam ever. Like, you've been sitting there, it is a scorching hot day, right? So imagine yourself in Durban. It is incredibly hot. You're sitting in your car, you're late for a meeting, you need to be somewhere, the traffic is not moving, you've probably gone 1 kilometer in the last 20 minutes, you're agitated, you're frustrated, you're whatever. It's an incredibly frustrating experience. Our thoughts generally jump to, this is ruining my life. Our thoughts go to, "Oh, why? Why does this have to happen to me? Why is there always issues? Why can't people drive properly? Why can't people obey the rules?" Like, I can hear all of those things. Reframing your mindset in that moment would look like this. Oh, while I'm stuck in traffic, let me listen to my favorite podcast. Or while I'm stuck in traffic, let me put voice recorder on my phone and dictate a book, or do something, just shift your mindset. Learn how to use that time differently. That is reframing your mindset. So the situation does not change because you have no control over it. You cannot suddenly click your fingers and the traffic starts moving. We don't have that kind of magic in our fingertips, unfortunately. So you're stuck there. This is your reality. This is your situation. The traffic is not moving. So instead of getting all flustered and getting aggressive and getting angry and getting whatever, stop and say, all right, so how can I use this wisely? Let me listen to music. Let me listen to my favorite. Let me phone my best friend and have a chat. Not a moan about the traffic, right? No. Reframing mindset is bringing something positive to the situation. That's what it is. So the first thing you have to do in order to reframe your mindset, the first thing is to catch your thoughts, to suddenly become aware, to notice your thoughts, okay? Start noticing your default reaction to challenges. Are you thinking, why me? Or are you thinking, oh, I'll never figure this out? Awareness is your first step to reframe your mind. Become conscious of what's happening here. Then you need to challenge the narrative. Ask yourself, is this what I'm feeling, thinking, and experiencing? Is it helpful or is it harmful? Is it helping my situation or is it aggravating my situation? Is there another way to look at this particular situation? So if you make a mistake at work, instead of thinking, I'm terrible at my job, I'm going to get fired, I'm in trouble, ask, okay, how can I learn and improve so that I don't do this again? Reframing your mindset is just being aware and shifting from the negative to the positive. Or not even to the positive, from the negative to something else. The other thing that we need to do is we need to focus on the silver lining. We need to. There is always a silver lining. You might not be able to see it in that moment, but you can work towards it. So find the small positives in every situation. So if you're stuck in traffic, the positive is that you now have time to make that phone call to your friend that you've been putting off for a long time. A positive is you can listen to a podcast. A positive is you can get your shopping list done. Find positives, small little things that shift the perspective of the challenge that you are experiencing. So maybe sometimes we end up having a tough conversation with a loved one, and that tough conversation ends up strengthening the relationship. Whereas if you don't have that tough conversation, if you ignore the change and resist the change, it doesn't help you. Sometimes being rejected pushes you towards something better. So those are the silver linings that we need to be focusing on. And then something else that I drone on about here in all of my content and all of my everything that I do is to practice gratitude. Shift from I have to I get to. It's interesting how 3 words, changing one word in those 3 just shifts the energy completely. I have to, I get to. So I have to go, or I get to sit here and relax. I get to sit here and listen to a podcast. I get to sit here and phone my friend. I have to go, or I get to. Shift. It's huge. So I have to work today becomes I get to contribute and grow as an individual. I have to exercise becomes I get to move my body and stay healthy. Shift, reframe the mindset. So reframing isn't about pretending that everything is perfect, because no, that's pointless. It's pointless. It's about choosing a perspective that empowers you rather than holds you back. So when something feels overwhelming in your life, ask yourself this question. If I were giving advice to a friend going through this exact situation, what would you say? Because often we are kinder to other people than we are to ourselves. So put yourself into a third person perspective and say, if I was giving this advice to somebody else, what would I actually, how would I say it? What would I say? And sometimes say it out loud, because it's easier to imagine you giving that advice to somebody else if you're saying it out loud. And then, friends, finally, please understand that reframing your mindset is something that does take practice. It's not something that you will think about right now and it's done. It is something that takes practice. It is something that takes a while to develop. But over time and with practice, it does become, and it will become, second nature to you. And when it does, you will find that life in general is lighter. It's a little bit easier, and it's a lot more full of possibilities. It really is. It really is. So, yeah, I see that took a lot longer than it was supposed to. That took a lot longer than it was supposed to. So I'm going to tell you now that the service won't be 1 hour. We will be going over that because I still have stuff to share. I still have stuff to share. So if you've got the time, stick around. All right. The next thing that I want to share with you today is our little bit of weekly astrology. A little bit of weekly astrology. And again, I've got, like, it feels like I've got a hair on my face or, something. But it's called ectoplasm, it's spirit. And you can see I'm getting all red in the face, all hot and flustered. Yes. All right, so our weekly astrology. So just a reminder, during this segment of our soul service, I'm not covering the astrology of the week ahead because it'll take too long. What I'm doing is I'm picking one thing that is happening in the sky for this week that I feel we will all experience or feel the effects of, and I'm bringing it to you in a simple way. I just needed to see if there is a hair or something. Thanks, everybody. So the astrology for this week, I want to show you one thing that is happening in the sky, and then I'm going to go through and show you how this is going to impact on each one of you. So every week it'll be something different. It just depends on what I spot. Remember, I consider myself still very much an amateur astrologer, so I don't have all the information. I am, learning and experiencing. So whatever I spot as what I think is important is what I'm going to focus on for the week ahead. So just to show you a graphic before I go into the text of it. So just to show you a graphic, and this is me getting all fancy with my software here. So what we have over here, and hold a second, I need to click some more buttons. All right. So what we have over here, and I don't know if you can actually see my mouse moving or not. Yes, you can. Good. All right. I'm watching myself there, but it's slightly delayed. So what we have over here is a chart. Okay, this is an astrology chart. This particular one is dated the 21st of January. So this is, I've only placed the Sun and Pluto. Okay, so I've taken all the other planets away, so we only have the Sun and Pluto. And as I said, this particular chart is for the 21st of January, and this is based in where I am in Durban, South Africa. So if you are in another country, the timing may be slightly off, okay? But everybody will have this, everybody will experience it. And basically what this is, if we look at these numbers, right? So this circle with the dot inside is the glyph, the symbol for the sun, and this one over here is Pluto. Now you've heard a lot of people talking about the sun and Pluto. Sorry, I need to have a sip of my water. You've heard a lot of people talking about the sun, Pluto in Aquarius. Sorry, let me get the right words. hear a lot of people talking about Pluto in Aquarius. So Pluto moves incredibly slowly, okay? So Pluto's going to stay in Aquarius for the next 20 years. So that means we're having that impact for the next 20 years. That's not what I'm here to talk about today. The sun moves quite quickly. As you know, the sun takes 365.4 days to go all the way around this circle, okay? So the sun's going to go through. So the sun moves 1 degree a day. So on the 21st of January, so and today is the 19th, so what is that? Tuesday. So right now, the sun is getting closer to Jupiter, to Pluto, and then on Tuesday it's like sitting directly on top of Pluto, and then it moves on and it goes past. So I'm looking at, and I know it's happening on Tuesday, and there's still a whole couple of days ahead of that, but I want you to know that this impact is you're going to feel it for a couple of days. You're already feeling it, but it'll hit on Tuesday, and then it'll continue again for the rest of the week. And you can see that it is in the sign of Aquarius. Now, if we look at the sun, when I've got this set, the sun is at 1 degree 35 minutes of Aquarius, whereas Pluto is at 1 degree 42. So I am a few minutes out, okay? Because I didn't want them to be right on top of each other because it's going to mess with my visuals. So, but this is happening on Tuesday. Now, so I'm going to go through each of the signs. So I'm going to go through Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, blah, 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 all of them, right? Telling you what this means for you. So to give you an example, when I give the explanation for Aries, it is that this is happening in the 11th house. And just to adjust, when I talk about Taurus, you can see now I've shifted the chart, it's happening in Taurus's 10th house. When I go and talk about Gemini, where's Gemini? There we are. When I talk about Gemini, you can see that this conjunction is happening in the 9th house. And when we talk about Cancer, it's the 8th house. Leo, it'll be the 7th house. Virgo, the 6th house. Libra, the 5th house. Scorpio, the 4th house. Sagittarius, it'll be your 3rd house. Capricorn, it'll be your 2nd house. Aquarius, surprise, surprise, it'll be your 1st house. And then for Pisces, it'll be your 12th house. And then we're back at Aries again. So that is the way that I am going to do it. All right. So let me come back here and let me put it back there. So taking the graphic off, just because I can't navigate pushing that and talking and doing all the things. So this is just simpler. So now you understand we're talking about the sun making a conjunction sitting on top of Pluto. And it's happening on Tuesday. Okay. So I'll tell you that this particular transit is going to bring intense transformational energy. It's going to put the spotlight on themes of power, themes of authenticity, and collective change. This particular alignment is going to encourage all of us to confront hidden truths, to embrace personal empowerment, and also how to contribute to the societal progress with a forward-thinking mindset. We're all changing mindsets, and how appropriate. Here I had this whole conversation about embracing change, and this is exactly what this particular aspect is doing for us. Okay, so it is a potent time for breakthroughs, but also it's a call to navigate the power dynamics with integrity and self-awareness. So the Sun-Pluto conjunction invites us to explore areas of hidden power, to embrace change, and to shed what no longer serves us. So the key is to channel this energy constructively. So this is again, and I'll tell you that I prepared this astrology completely separately to when I prepared the reflection, and yet here they just coincide because spirit are in control apparently. All right, so Aries, I'm going to go through all the signs of the zodiac. I'm not talking long, it's a short little thing, but for each sign of the zodiac. I also just want to say here that you need to pay attention to obviously your sun sign, but your rising sign most especially. So if you know what your astrological rising sign is or your ascendant sign, that is the one that that is most important in this particular context. But if you don't know that and you only know your sun sign, that is fine. Listen to both. All right. So Aries. You may uncover hidden dynamics in your community or reassess your long-term goals during this period. It is a powerful alliance could emerge, or you may let go of relationships that no longer align with your values. Interesting. Taurus, for you, this is a moment to transform how you approach authority, leadership, and your professional ambitions. So embrace this chance to step into your power, but avoid controlling tendencies. So don't be too controlling. Just step into your power without that control element. Gemini, for you, you can expect, you might feel called to explore profound truths or to challenge any outdated philosophies. You may also be suddenly inclined to travel or to learn something new. All of that may play a role during this shift for you. Cancerians, you may face deep emotional revelations or even some financial shifts, such as investments or debts that suddenly come to the fore. This is a powerful time for emotional healing and to rebuild trust. Leo, for you, hidden power dynamics may surface, prompting necessary conversations and adjustments. This transit is going to urge you to transform your approach to relationships for greater authenticity. And Virgo, you may identify habits that are holding you back, and you may feel driven to make transformative changes. Prioritize balance and avoid burnout during this intense energy. And Libra, for you, you may uncover hidden passions, or you may redefine what brings you joy. This is a powerful time to release fears around vulnerability and to embrace your authentic desires. Scorpio, you may confront deep-seated family dynamics, or you may need to make significant changes to your living situation. Focus on creating a supportive and a empowering home base. And Sag. So Sag, for you, you might uncover hidden truths in conversations, or you may feel compelled to express your ideas more boldly. Just embrace this time as a time to redefine or to refine your voice, your speech. Capricorn. So this transit may bring revelations around your relationship with money and your personal values. This is an opportunity to transform how you approach material stability and confidence. Aquarius, for you guys, you're stepping into your power. I mean, this is happening in your first house. You are stepping into your power. You are confronting aspects of your identity, and you are embracing a new level of self-mastery. So let go of any fears that may be holding you back from being your true, authentic self. And finally, last but certainly not least, Pisces. Pisces, this is a time for deep introspection, for healing, and for releasing subconscious fears. So embrace the solitude that you need to access profound inner growth and transformation at this time. Awesome. So there you have it, friends. Short, sweet, and to the point for every single one of you. Like, let's use this dynamic, this energy. Let's use this transit to help us actually do the things, embrace the change that is happening. Because right now, Pluto in Aquarius is bringing change. Like it or not, it's happening. Remember, what was the sentence I gave you earlier? Resisting change does not stop it. We have to embrace it. We have to embrace it. All right. Let me switch that off. And we are now going into, and because we are already at an hour and 3 minutes to be exact, I am going to keep this next section a little bit shorter than I had hoped I would. But before we close off, I want to just do some messages. So I asked you all to, in the chat, put in your favorite color. And this is where this is going to come into play. So I have a color in my head that was given to me by Spirit. And anybody who put that color in, and you can't now go, once I give you what the color is, go and stop putting it in, because I'm only looking at the old chat. I'm looking at those that were put up earlier, right? So those who put the color that Spirit gave me into the chat are going to get a message from Spirit. I'm not using any cards. I'm not using anything. I'm literally, Moira immediately puts her color in. Go Moira, put it in, put it in. I haven't given you the color yet, so it's still okay. So, so those of you who have, as I said, I'm not using any tarot. I'm not using anything. This is literally just me allowing Spirit to talk to me and to give the message that you need to hear. All right. So, we do drum roll, please. Brrr. The color is, and I haven't seen. I've got to look. I've got the chat in quite a few different places. Okay, so Dane was the first person who mentioned purple. I've seen a lot of people mention purple, and unfortunately purple is not the color, which is weird. I mean, this is me. Hello, purple. I love purple, but no, purple is not the color. So I don't know how many of you have put this color in, and I'm going to be sitting here with a mouthful of teeth if if nobody's put the color in, if this particular color wasn't mentioned. So I'm going to start going through the chat and let's see how many people. I suppose I need to tell you what the color is first, eh? So the color is blue. The color today is blue. So let's see. Let's see. I'm scrolling through the chat looking for either a emoji or the word blue. I see, Regine, you put lots of blue. Oh, there it is. There we go. So Regine says, so funny. I now read about posting your favorite color. I felt drawn to past blue hearts instead of pink ones as I usually do. Actually, blue is my favorite color. So yay! Well done, Regine. Well done, Regine. Well done, my darling. All the way from Munich. Good morning. Bright and early for you. So Regine, immediately reading there, connecting with you. Immediately I hear from Spirit. And again, there's a reason why Spirit chose blue. It's a reason why I'm wearing blue. There's a reason why Spirit chose blue. Blue as an emotion is a negative. It's a down. It's a feeling heavy. It's a feeling despondent. It's a feeling like, ugh. And Spirit want to lift that. They want to shift and they want to change that. They want blue to be seen as bright, sunshiny skies. They want blue to be happy and light and uplifted. So the messages are all going to be around that theme. But Regine, what I hear for you, around Spirit for you right now, is they're saying to you that this week coming, there is going to be something that's going to happen in your life that might have a tendency to pull you down. So something's not going to go according to plan. Something's not going to work out exactly as you hoped it would. So it's going to have that effect of wanting to pull you down. And Spirit is saying, don't resist the change. Don't fight against the change. Go with it. Trust it, allow it, because actually it's going to be perfect for you. But there is definitely something this week that's not going to go according to plan, and it's going to want to pull you down. And Spirit is saying, just go with the flow, just trust and allow, because it's actually going to work out perfectly, as this whole service has been saying to you. Sending you so much love, my darling. Denise, look at all my all my YouTube members picking blue all the time. Like, how fabulous is that? So Denise, my darling, you've also gone with blue. I'm going to have a sip of water while I listen to what Spirit say for you. Okay, so Denise, this is quite interesting. Okay, Spirit is saying to you, Denise, again, this week coming, the week ahead, time ahead for you. Spirit is saying to you that these, and again, the messages are like that. I feel like I'm saying the same thing on repeat. But Spirit is saying this week there is change coming. You will be implementing change. You will make a conscious decision towards the change, and you need to implement it. So whether you've already made the decision and you just need to implement it this week, but Spirit talking about the change that is coming, that you are initiating. So this is not change that's being forced on you. This is not change that's just happening unexpectedly. This is change that you are initiating, that you are triggering. So Spirit are acknowledging the change this week. So whatever it is that's happening for you this week, and Spirit is saying to you, Denise, that this change coming this week is going to be really, really awesome, really, really amazing. So if you have fear, if you have insecurity, and if you have doubt around it, no need for that. It's going to be amazing. All right. Sending you lots of love and blessings, my darling. Veronica, if you're still here, you also put in blue. Well done. All right, let's hear what Spirit have to say for you. So Veronica, immediately Spirit is saying to me about a blue pen. Okay, so blue pen is what we use to write. Okay, I generally, personally, I write in a black pen, but majority people tend to write in a blue pen. So Veronica, I'm getting this kind of writing. I'm getting this writing on paper. So coming up for you, this is not yet something that has happened, it's something that's coming up, and I am hearing the words a contract, an agreement, a something. So there's some kind of official document that needs to be signed, completed, filled in, paperwork, okay, for you, Veronica, in the next coming days that you need to be mindful of. And I'm hearing Spirit say, make sure that you read everything carefully. Don't, you know how sometimes we trust the institution? So if it's a bank as an example, and we need to sign papers, we sometimes just trust that, you know, the bank knows what the bank knows and they're good and they're clever. So if they put a piece of paper in front of us and say sign, we just sign. We don't often know what we're agreeing to, what we're signing. And Veronica's Spirit is saying there's definitely blue pen, there's definitely signing, filling in forms, and they're telling you to be careful, not careful, just to be mindful, to make sure that you fully understand what it is that you are signing. All right, sending love and blessings to you. I am looking for some more colors. Looking for some more colors. I'm making sure that I don't miss any, so just bear with me while I look. Okay, so it was just them. It was just them, right? Awesome. So we have done our messages. Good. Maybe that's why Spirit made it the way that they did. So friends, remember, next service, if I start off by telling you to do something in the chat, now you will know why. It is a way of Spirit helping me to choose the people who need to receive the messages that they need to receive. Okay, so finally, friends, that brings us to the portion of the service where we need to close off, where we need to bid adieu and move on to whatever else is important and relevant. Claire says she put colors orange and green. Hold a second, let me go back and look. I did not see that, Claire. I do apologize. I'm looking. I thought I was being so good in reading everything, Claire. I do apologize. I'm looking for your comment. Claire. Just bear with me a second. Oh, look at that. No, Claire, there it tells me green and orange, my darling, not blue. Blue was the color. Blue was the color, not green or orange. Blue was the color. All right. Yes, so Claire, you put orange and green, but blue was the color that I was doing readings for. Sorry, I was confused there for a second. You are so welcome, Denise, and you are so welcome, Veronica. All right, friends, let's come together as we close off our soul service. I'm going to start off, before I do the closing prayer, just giving thanks to each one of you for being here. It's been so lovely to share the space with you. It's been so lovely. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for connecting with me. Really, if you didn't arrive, if you weren't here to enjoy the service with me, I wouldn't have a service to put up. So thank you for sharing with me. All right, friends. Beloved spirit guides, angels, archangels, and ascended masters, we gather now in absolute humble gratitude for the sacred time that we have shared, for the insights gained, and for the hearts that were uplifted and the souls that were renewed. Thank you for guiding us with your light and your wisdom as we journeyed together to grow and to understand ourselves and to deepen our connection to life's purpose. Archangels Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and Uriel, we honor your presence here and the gifts that you brought to this circle. Thank you for your protection, for your healing, for your clarity, and for your grounding. Ascended Masters, we are grateful for the timeless truths that you have imparted and for your unwavering compassion. As we prepare to step forward into the week ahead, we ask for your continued presence in our lives. May the angels and Ascended Masters most aligned with our needs walk beside us, lighting our way and helping us to remain steadfast on the path of righteousness, of truth, and of love. Please fill our hearts with courage and kindness. Fill our minds with clarity and wisdom, and our spirits with peace and purpose. May we carry the energy of this gathering into our daily lives, spreading light wherever we go. We release this circle with love and with gratitude, knowing that we are forever connected through divine grace. May we each walk forward with open hearts, guided by the highest good, and trusting in the infinite love that surrounds us all. And so it is. And so it is. Thank you so much, friends. Take care of yourselves. Stay blessed always. And until we connect again, take care, everybody. Have a beautiful Sunday.